Hello everyone, so welcome to the biology class. So today's topic is prokaryotic cell envelope and its modification. So first of all, we'll start our lesson by speaking about prokaryotes. What are prokaryotes? So the name suggests pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus. So the organism which is having primitive kind of nucleus, they'll be termed as prokaryotes. Now, what kind of cell organelle will be able to found in them? So, we do not have the cell organelle actually as we have seen in the eukaryotes till now, like chloroplast, mitochondria, Golgi, ER. We do not have that. But still, they are able to perform the different life functions such as nutrition, then excretion, transportation and so on. So, how they are able to do that? That is what we are going to study. So first of all, when we start the structure, this prokaryote, they are made up of the very complex structure outside, and this structure is called cell wall. Cell wall. Now what do cell wall do? Cell wall basically provide it is a toughest layer. It basically protects. Also it provides the shape. Now this outer layer you can see, this could be a slimy layer. This could be a capsule. So basically what is this? This is glycocalyx. Then we have the inner membrane and this is our cell membrane. So we have the three complex structure outside the bacterial cell, which is providing the support, which is providing the integrity, which is giving the shape to the bacterial cell. Then inside the cell you can see this plasma structure. They are nothing but they are the cytoplasm. This cytoplasm, they carry all the inorganic and organic substance which is required by the cell. Then we have this nuclear material. This nuclear material over here is called nucleoid. This is not a nucleus, rather it's a nucleoid. It's a nuclear material. Then in prokaryotic cell, other than this nucleoid, other than this chromosomal DNA, they have a certain different kind of DNA also. And these DNA, they are called as plasmid. See, we know what is the normal function of the nucleus or the DNA. They carry genetic information and this information is genetic. It must be passed from one generation to another generation. So this extra DNA, the plasmid which we have in the bacterial cell, they are actually having some special genes. You have seen that bacteria are getting mutated so and so on. The antibiotics are no longer working on the bacteria and the researchers are working on the anti-resistant drugs so that the bacteria which has got a resistant, you understanding what I am saying, right? See, for example, I will tell you, you went to a doctor and you bought an antibiotic and that doctor told you to complete the doses till 3 days. But you have taken the dose only for 2 days because you have started feeling well. You didn't completed the course and because of that all bacteria didn't die. Only the 60 to 70% bacteria died. So this 30% bacteria which survived, they become mutagen. They become basically resistant. So this resistant bacteria, the proteins which actually formed inside the bacteria to make it resistant, so that information is basically stored in the plasmid. We will be studying about the plasmid in later class 12 and that time we will discuss it in detail. For now you just understand that they have a certain special genes which actually makes the bacteria resistant towards many antibiotics. Therefore they will become anti-resistant or they will become anti-drug or anti-antibiotics bacteria. Then next part is this structure you can see here, the extension of this cell membrane. These are called mesosomes. They help in cell wall formation, they help in respiration, so on and so forth. Now we'll start discussing the different points which I have listed for you. First of all, bacteria. When we talk about what is meant by prokaryote, then what kind of cell do we consider or what kind of organism we have to consider? So first will be the bacteria, second is the blue-green algae, third are the mycoplasma and fourth are the pleuropneumonia-like organism, PPLOs. See, normally in eukaryotic cell, they ranges from 10 to 100 micrometer. But when you talk about the prokaryotic cell, they range from 1 to 2 micrometer or sometimes 1 Example E. coli, example some bacillus bacteria. Next is the spherical round shape. For example, coccus like streptococcus, staphylococcus. Then is coma shaped bacteria like this structure will be like comma. Example is Vibrio cholerae that spread cholera in organisms. So that is the example of Vibrio shape or you can say coma shape. Next is the spiral. They will be like this spiral shape. They have spirillum. Example is Rhodospirillum. Then we have mycoplasma as a prokaryotes and they do not have the cell wall in them. So basically I told you that a prokaryote will have the glycocalyx, the cell wall and cell membrane. But this mycoplasma will only have the cell membrane, it doesn't have the cell wall structure. Next, we have the genome as a circular DNA. This nucleoid, the circular DNA, we can call it the double stranded DNA which is circular in nature. And it also have a plasmid. What is the function of plasmid? It provides the resistance towards the different antibiotics. Then mesosomes. So this is the extension of the cell membrane and it helps in the cell wall formation, DNA replication, respiration and secretion. Now glycocalyx, which is the outer of the cell wall, here what happens is we have three layers, right? Glycocalyx, cell wall and cell membrane. Glycocalyx can be loose sheet. If it is a loose sheet, if it is a thin, then they form the slime layer. If it is thick and tough, then will form capsules. Next is the cell wall. What is the function of cell wall? Cell wall provides shape, support, it prevents from the collapsing. It prevents the cell to be prevent from the bursting of the cell due to the osmoregularity. Next is certain prokaryotes like cyanobacteria, they have chromatophore. They have chromatophore which actually have the pigments which provide its own colors. Then flagella will have a long flagella, you can see from the cell membrane it is coming out, right? So this is the extension of the cell membrane. What is the function of flagella? Flagella function is motility, it helps in the movement. Now you can see there is a three part. One is the basal body, this is the basal body. Next is the hook which attaches from the ear, this is hook. And this is the filament, the long protruding structure is the filament. So basically you can see that this filament is the longest part in the flagella. We did study the cilia and flagella in the last lesson, you can go there and check the 9+2 arrangement of the flagella structure. Next we have, other than this flagella, we have pili and fimbriae. Pili is a tubular structure, it is made up of the protein, and fimbriae are also the smaller structure. These are the pili and fimbriae. So they are also smaller structure but they help in the attachment. Certain research also says that these pili form the conjugation tube. What is conjugation tube? This is one bacteria, there is one more bacteria. Sometimes they form the conjugating tube between them so that they could share their genetic material. Okay, so this conjugation tube you can see over here, this is because of the certain sex pili, that is because of the pili. Then what is the function of fimbriae? Fimbriae helps in the attachment to the substratum. They cannot be floating in everywhere, correct? So they can sometimes have to stuck with the dust particles, sometimes have to stuck with the stones and anything. So that stucking, that holding the substrate is happening because of the fimbriae. Now one more topic we have to discuss, that bacteria cell wall can be cell gram negative and gram positive. So let's start the theory telling that there was a scientist called Christian Gram and he studied the cell wall structure. Okay, and he also explained some gram staining method wherein first of all he put the crystal violet. Okay, this is a blue purple color in the bacterial colony and all the cell became violet. Then what did he do? He then added iodine solution. Iodine actually acts as a mordant. It helps the cell to stick with the stain. Okay. Next time what did he do? He added ethanol. Ethanol is a decolorizing agent. So whichever cell has not basically acquired that crystal violet color, they will lose the color. So now what do we have? We have some cells which blue and purple color and some cell without any color. Okay. So because now the cell which is having that crystal violet color, they are called gram positive cells. But the gram negative cell is not visible. Why? because this ethanol has washed the color. And so what we have to do, we have to put a counter stain that is called safranin. What do this safranin do? It puts the pinkish and orangish color to the gram negative. So basically the cells which capture the crystal violet color, they will be gram positive, and the cells which captures the safranin, the counter stain color, they will be gram negative. So when you see the gram positive and gram negative structure, the cell wall structure, you can easily distinguish over here that, see, you can see the cell wall is very thick in gram positive, the cell wall is little thinner, the capsule is also very thick than that of the capsule of the gram negative bacteria. Also, it having the outer membrane, but there is no outer membrane in gram positive. So this is the difference between this gram positive and gram negative bacteria on the basis of what kind of cell wall composition do they have. So this is all about the prokaryotes and their cell wall structure. We'll revise our lesson fast. So first of all, what we have studied, we studied what is prokaryotes. Their size ranges from 1 micrometer to maybe till it will go to 5 to 6 micrometer. And these cells, they have a complex outer layer with glycocalyx, which could be slime, which could be capsule, depending on if they are thin or thick. Then they'll have the cell wall. Again, the cell wall composition differs as in gram positive and in gram negative. If it is taking crystal violet color, then they are gram positive. If they are taking safranin, then it is gram negative. Christian Graham has given this theory. Third is the cell membrane. Cell membrane is the semi-permeable in nature. It allows certain material inside the cells and it won't allow the others. Then in the cytoplasm, we have a nuclear material which is called nucleoid. Then extra nuclear material that is called plasmid, which provides the resistance towards different antibiotics. We have mesosomes which help in the respiration and DNA replication and secretion. We certainly have this chromatophore in case of cyanobacteria, wherein it provides a pigment to the bacteria. So this is all about the prokaryotes. I hope this will be clear to you. Then we also discuss about this flagella, this pili and fimbriae. Pili helps in the conjugation, the sex pili formation. Fimbriae helps in the attachment to the substratum, and flagella helps in the movement. The filament is the longest part in the flagella. This is all about the prokaryote. I hope this lecture was clear to you. In case of doubt, don't forget to write in your comments. And thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.